All right, welcome to another Friday night episode of Keto Rocks Radio. I'm Jim Hobbs, and I believe tonight down below me is my carnivore co-host, Brian Damage Forsythe of the band Kix and Rhino Bucket. And tonight, we're honored to have a guest, the owner of the Warrenton Wellness Therapy office in Warrenton, Virginia. It's I came across a health magazine I picked up, and it had this thing about blue light therapy. I never even heard of blue light therapy, so I read a little bit about it in the article they had, and then I called Warrenton Wellness. Sarah actually answered the phone, and I think I scheduled an appointment that day or very soon after, maybe a day or two afterwards. And I came in and I did my, I want to say 20-minute session. Is it 30? Is it 20 minute?
Yeah, 20.
Yeah, okay, 20-minute session, and it was amazing. And I was blown away by this light therapy. And it's my understanding, I'm gonna let Sarah share how she came into bringing blue light therapy to Virginia. But it's my understanding this was the first blue light therapy on the East Coast.
Yes, that's true. We've been here for a little bit over a year, and we're the only one on the East Coast. Now there's over 45 blue rooms around the world in 13 different countries, but this is the only one on the East Coast.
Wow. Well, I'm just going to introduce you, Sarah Shores, and we're just honored to have you. And if you can tell our audience a little bit about, what got you into blue light therapy and what made you step up and build the first one on the East Coast.
Thank you, Jim. Yeah, it's been an interesting journey, I have to tell you. I had been retired, and I spent 20 years in the Coast Guard, and then worked in the federal government, and had retired and was enjoying retirement. But prior to that, I had probably 15, almost 20 years ago, I had contracted Lyme disease. And so I had Lyme disease for about 10 years, and I tried whatever the doctors told me to do. I did. Multiple different kinds of antibiotics and steroids and things like that. And I used to run ultra marathons, and at that point I've done several 50-mile races, and
Wow.
I went from doing that to if I just didn't move behind my desk, I wasn't in pain. And and I had put on a significant amount of weight over that 10 years because of all the steroids and the lack of exercise, because I was in pain quite a bit. So at that point, one of my doctors probably did me the best favor he could. He said, there's nothing really we can do for you. We just can treat the symptoms. And that kind of flipped a switch. And I said, I really need to figure out what works for me. So I really started looking around and heard about blue rooms. At the time, they were only up in Canada and in the West Coast. So I went out to the West Coast and I tried it. And for a couple of days, and I got immediate pain relief, which was stunning. I thought it was the best I felt. I still had a ways to go, but I was definitely on the mend. So we decided at that point it was easier to drive to Canada than it was to fly to the West Coast. So we started going to Canada about every 4 or 5 months, and spend a few days up there and get a session every day. And over the span of 18 months or so of doing that, I really was pretty much back to normal. And so we were sold at that point that this is amazing stuff. And so I retired, and thinking that I wasn't going to have a blue room, we were going to continue to go to Canada because they're pretty expensive, and I didn't think I'd be able to figure all that out. But as luck would have it, a few friends said, no, we'll help. You need to really do this. You're passionate about it. So we pulled it together and made the commitment, and then COVID hit. And So I think we made a commitment in February 2020 and COVID hit in March of 2020. So not to be daunted by that, you know, ultraviolet light and viruses just don't get along. And so the Blue Room, we had hired the person, he owns a business in Italy, and he's made probably 23 of the 45 Blue Rooms out there. So he makes them and puts them in 2 crates, and then he comes over and assembles them. But of course, he couldn't get here because of COVID. And so we got our 2 crates in June, and we put them together ourselves with daily video chats with Italy and his manual. And because he's got it set up so that, you know, you really just need a couple of hand drills and a ladder to put it together, because he travels all over the world to build these. So construction wise, that part was easy. It was more of, you know, trying to really figure out, you know, at least the manual. He had translated it all to English, which was very helpful.
Yeah.
So
How long?
it normally takes him 2 to 3 days to put something together. Ours, we took almost 3 weeks to put it together, but you know, we did you know, the video and showing him what we did that day. And if we weren't quite sure, understanding the manual, we'd stop and ask him a question the next day. And so then we were able to put it together and start, and we opened up in July of 2020.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how long it takes you to assemble that, but you answered that question and explained it. But
yeah, they're pretty. They've got it down to a science. We do not.
Well, it's really weird. I'll post some pictures, because I did take pictures when I went and did my session with Sarah, and it's almost like you're in this portal. You're standing there, and it's like infinity above you and infinity below you. Like you seem like you're just going down. It's forever, and looking up, it's forever. And it looks like you're in a mirror room, but it's just high polished stainless steel, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and it's you know, it's an octagon shaped room. So you have you know, that's no accident. That helps reflect the lights, the UVB lights that are on the wall and the ceiling. And when I say UVB, I mean ultraviolet B. And so when you're in there, you have the lights, and you have music playing, and you have a tone, which is like this nice hum at 111 hertz. So you have 3 things going on that are contributing to really positive healing frequencies while you're in there and you're laying on a bed for that 20 minutes. So, you know, people who are experienced meditators, you know, they kind of go through their process and they relax. But we have a lot of people who've never meditated before. So usually when they come in, I kind of talk to them a little bit, and I tell them what I do, which is, you know, I visualize breathing in like blue light, and it's pulling out, you know, the fatigue or the stress or whatever it is that I'm there to heal. And that visualization is important because they've done studies that show where they taught a group of people to play a piano and learn a tune on the piano, and they touched the keys while they were learning that tune. And then another group, they learned the same tune, but they could not touch the keys. They only imagined they touched the keys, but the brain scans were the same. Wow. What that means is whether you really do it or you're imagining you do it, it's the same experience to your brain. That's one of the unique things about being human. And so if you're imagining that blue light going through you and pulling out disease or whatever, for me, that helps me relax and get present in the room.
Right. Now, I will tell you, when I did my session, one of the things that Sarah said is, look, you're going to start hearing a lot of pops. So don't, you know, think anything's wrong. It's just the metal expanding because the lights are on. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, the lights are heating up and cooling down. It's like a little ting, 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 ting. Usually, you know, if the music's up loud enough, you might not hear it. But if you're somebody who wants the music down really low or no music, then you might hear some of that.
Yeah, I almost felt like I was drifting, the noises sound like I was in an elevator and I was going up and down, and those noises like I was hitting in different floors. But I'm glad you actually, warned me I'd be hearing sounds, because else I would think, oh my gosh, this thing's about ready to come down on me or collapse.
No,
But,
no, it's
but
fine. And yeah, so hopefully in that 20 minutes, everybody has a different experience. Depending on what you go in there with, what attitudes you have, and some people are, they have a hard time relaxing and just kind of letting go. So it might take them a couple of sessions to get used to the blue room, versus somebody who is used to just surrendering and saying, I'm fine, and doing that on the first session.
what are some of the benefits that users report after being in 20 minutes or after doing 2 or 3 sessions of your blue light therapy?
Well, what they've reported is things like pain relief, general mood elevation, like if they were depressed before they went in, they feel better. Sometimes their creativity gets increased. One of the things I've noticed is, and this is just an observation, I certainly can't make this claim, I've had several people come in who've had COVID and have lingering issues like brain fog or fatigue, and they go into the blue room after a few sessions and they usually feel pretty good.
Well, that's great. Now, you were born during the COVID and the shutdown. So does the blue light provide, you said light like the sun, like vitamin D? So that's a great thing you said, that blue light therapy and viruses don't mix. They don't like each other. Viruses,
absolutely. So sunlight is technically ultraviolet A, ultraviolet B, and ultraviolet C. However, ultraviolet C is blocked by the atmosphere, so we never see it down here. The only reason why I mention ultraviolet C is because when people use ultraviolet light to sterilize things, like in a hospital or in a room, you can buy those ultraviolet sanitizers. That's ultraviolet C. Okay. And that's not safe for people. And that's why when you see them in a hospital, like a robot, they close the door, put the robot in there, and it turns on the ultraviolet light. So sunlight, what we see here is 95% ultraviolet A, which is what tans you. And ultraviolet B is 5% of the sunlight. And that is what, when it touches your skin, it produces vitamin D. And it does not tan you. That's really the difference between the different lights. But ultraviolet B also, there's studies that show it's really good for the health of your gut microbe. And I noticed that right away personally, just because I had been on antibiotics for so many years with my Lyme disease. I really had some major gut issues, and that's fine now. And so that was something I personally noticed. And then the other thing is I feel like when I'm doing this and I get the ultraviolet light, there's a connection that they've proven between the gut and the brain. And so even though it's hard to, well, that's kind of weird, it's just ultraviolet B light, but I know I'm doing something good for my brain.
That's awesome. Yeah, I actually just completed this evening a 72-hour fast. A bunch of our friends here on Keto Rock, we started on Sunday at 4 o'clock, between 4 and 6, and I just finished up my 72-hour fast. And first thing I did to replenish my gut was bone broth. So that's what I started off with. But I'm beginning to realize just how important, and thanks to Brian's book that he turned me on to, just how integral your gut is to your overall health. And if your gut's not healthy, you're not healthy. But if you can do the things that's going to make your gut healthy, then you're going to be healthy yourself and be able to withstand those viruses or other attacks that can come to you from different diseases that people are vulnerable to.
Absolutely. 70% of your immune system's in your gut. And until you get that right, it's really tough to fight diseases. And so I really appreciate that now. I wish I had known that 30 years ago. But it's really amazing. Once that's right, everything starts going right.
Right. Now, if somebody wants to find out more information, what's your website so people could go to, Sarah?
It's warrentonwellness.com. And the same thing for Facebook, Warrenton Wellness Facebook. My phone number is 540-216-2524. And you can schedule an appointment online or just give me a call.
Now, do you have any specials that you can give our listeners?
Yes. It's 50% off your first session. So that makes your first session, just to try it, $35. And then I have 30% off for multi-session packages of 5 sessions or 10 sessions, 30% off for first responders, military, teachers, healthcare workers, and anybody over 65. And so that's 30% off now. And starting 1 November, I'll have my holiday special, which will be 30% off everything for everybody.
Wow, that's a lot. Now, I did ask you this question when I went to go see you, but how often can you do the blue light therapy? Like, can you do it every day, or do you need to do it, or every other day? What's the regimen schedule?
Well, I do it every day.
Okay.
And I use it, this is how I start my day, is in a nice higher frequency, because I'm around people all day, and it's important to me for them to have a positive experience. My frequency needs to be high. So, and I also believe that, disease, fear, pain, depression, all of that is a low frequency. And so if I focus on keeping my frequency high, where I'm happy, healthy, all that up here, and keep my frequency high, then I will be just fine. And so when I view the world from a frequency perspective, that's what I'm thinking. So I start my day every day in the blue room. And then, but you can, most people, if they have, say they have a significant amount of pain, they might start out like 3 days a week, and maybe 2 days a week, depending on time and what they can do to get here, to kind of get ahead of the pain or whatever's really bother them. And then they would back off to maybe once a week as time goes on, and then they can spread that out. And the key here is you may feel wonderful when you leave, but that's because you're at a higher frequency. But as you go back home and you turn on the news, or you go back to a toxic work environment, whatever it is, then your energy goes down and all the pain starts coming back. So you have to learn how to stay up here at the higher frequency. And sometimes that's addressing an attitude. Sometimes that's, just being quiet so you can relax and let things go, whatever it is. So when you have multiple sessions up front, that allows you to get some relief, and then kind of you can focus on, keeping it and staying in that place.
Yeah.
Brian, you got a question?
Yeah, I do have one. You mentioned a session is 20 minutes. Are there different lengths of sessions, or is that the ultimate, the best length, or are there longer lengths?
Well, the sessions are 20 minutes, but what changes is you build up your length of the ultraviolet light. So when you start out, you're getting 3 minutes of that 20 minutes is the ultraviolet light. So you do 3 sessions at 3 minutes, then I can move you up to 6 minutes, and you do 3 sessions at 6 minutes, and then I can move you up to 9 minutes. And so that's where you stay, because I'm a wellness place. There are some blue rooms that have doctors affiliated with them. And say, for instance, you might have a terminal condition like, say, cancer. If time is not your friend, the doctor might recommend starting, getting you up to 12 minutes, or doing 2 sessions twice a day for a total of 12 minutes or something like that. Whereas the most I can do is 9 minutes.
Okay. Now, when you do this, are you clothed, or is your skin exposed, or how's that work?
Most people are closed. All you have to do is take your shoes off and your jewelry, because metal has a memory and a frequency. Most people, don't take their clothes off. But if you want to get max vitamin D impact, meaning you have to have more skin area, the UVB actually has to touch your skin. So I do have some clients who disrobe and do their session that way.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
When you get in there, you got the healing frequency playing, and you got your music playing. So it's definitely quite the experience. I definitely felt transported, and I'm pretty sure I fell asleep for a few moments while I was in there, because it's just so relaxing. All right, everybody, it's that time of the evening where we get a chance to check in with Mr. Brian Shanker of the MeatTribe YouTube channel for those meat deals of the week. So, Brian, what do you have for us?
Hey, guys, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Well,
awesome. All right, so got a few deals for you. I don't think I saw any ribeyes, so we're gonna all have to take a week off of eating ribeyes. But Carnes, the store up in Central PA that Linda turned me on to, which I haven't gone to yet because it's too far away. They've got a couple of deals that run through October 11th. They've got some choice grade boneless whole beef briskets for $5.49 a pound. And they've got some choice grade boneless center cut beef briskets for $6.99 a pound. Harris Teeter, they've only got a couple of deals that really looked good to me. Their deals run through the 12th of October. They've got some boneless Smithfield all natural Boston butt pork roast at $1.29 a pound, and some choice grade boneless New York strip steaks or steakhouse roasts at $9.99 a pound. Brian, down your way, Kroger, all of those deals run through the 12th of October. They've got some choice grade boneless New York strip steaks at $8.99 a pound. They've also got some Boston pork butt at $1.29 a pound. And then the last thing they've got is some choice grade boneless eye or bottom round roasts at $6.99 a pound. So sounds like you were perking up on the strip steaks there. What about the Boston pork butt?
Yeah, except I think I have a couple of those down in the freezer.
Yeah, you probably have a couple in the 3 or 4 freezers that you have already, right? Last store I've got for you, we've got some certified Angus beef from Giant Eagle. This deal runs through the 13th of October. Certified Angus beef bone-in Market District T-bone or porterhouse steaks at $9.99 a pound, and some prime grade bone-in T-bone or porterhouse steaks for $16.99 a pound. So you're talking from prime versus certified Angus beef, which is kind of like choice grade, a difference of like $7 almost to jump from one to the other.
I'll take the lower grade and the same grams of protein and the difference in my pocket.
Yep, there you go. So I posted on my Facebook page I went out to get stew meat finally so when I do my chili later this fall, and at Giant, I need 4 pounds because I make a pretty big batch. And so I was looking at the value packs, and they weren't as good. They didn't look as good. Not a lot of marbling in them. And, how it's always bright red, and I know it doesn't really matter, but they started to turn brown a little bit. And it didn't look good. But then I looked over, and they had some chuck roasts, choice grade chuck roasts on sale for $4.99 a pound. And they had really, really nice marbling. So I said, well, I guess I'm going to have to sharpen my knives, and I'll get those and I'll cut them down myself.
So is that what you did?
I haven't made it yet, but yeah, I got two chuck roasts, a little over 4 pounds worth. And so I'll post pictures. Well, I posted pictures of them on the Facebook page already, but when I go to make the chili, I'll probably throw a few pictures up there.
Now, are you entering your chili into Maryland Institute to Rick's chili cook-off?
It's funny, because when I posted that, somebody replied about the meat, and I said, yeah, I could never enter a chili contest because I literally cook my chili for at least 8 hours. So whatever cube I have for that meat, it's unrecognizable as a chunk of meat basically by the time I'm done with it. I cook it for so long.
Yeah, you just have to show up at the institute a little bit earlier and just start cooking at 3 a.m. and be ready by the time the contest starts.
I don't know. I think those cooking contests, they have a start time. Like, I don't think you can start stuff early, right? Don't you have to do it within a certain number of hours, certain parameters?
I don't think they're that strict, are they? I don't think Rick can be that strict over there, but I don't know. But one way to find out is to go do it.
Yeah, that's true. I'll look into it. I don't know. I haven't made my chili in a couple of years though, so I'm gonna be a little rusty. Maybe I'll have to do a practice pot. That's what I got to do.
There you go. I tell you what, I love chili during the winter. So that's one of the things that Peggy makes. I don't even attempt to make it. I don't need to. She makes phenomenal chili. So, and she makes it keto friendly. So I love her chili.
And speaking of keto friendly, in true keto fashion, which I've always preferred, I do not like beans in my chili. So true Texas style chili has no beans.
There you go. I did not know that's what Texas, but I didn't know Texas had no beans. I don't have any, we don't put beans in ours either, of course, but I did not know that.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of a nugget for us. So awesome. Well, if someone wants to reach out to you, Brian, how do they get to your channel?
Yep. So head on over to the MeatTribe YouTube channel. It's MeatTribe is all one word. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, click on the bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And if you come across any great deals, put them in the comments section. And I'm also over on Facebook.
Sounds good. Well, thanks for those deals of the week. We'll look forward to seeing you next Friday. Have a great week.
Sounds good. Have a great one, everyone.
All right.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Yeah, it's when you think of spa, usually that's for the body. And this is more about your mind. And then when your mind is quiet, your body responds to that, because where your thoughts go, the body follows. So this is more kind of for the mind.
Wow, sounds cool. I wish I lived closer.
Yeah, got to give it a try. Now, where do you live?
I'm in Nashville.
Nashville. Well, you might be closer to the one in St. Louis, Missouri, outside of St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, okay.
That's the closest one to here. So if you're ever up in St. Louis, Missouri, give her a try.
Yeah, well, I'm in Maryland a lot, so maybe if I have a day off in Maryland at one point, maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah, come on by.
Yeah, it's definitely worth doing it. And I highly recommend, I know this is nothing to do with keto or carnivore you're watching tonight, but we want to bring you stuff that you're just not hearing about, and anything that's beneficial to you, that's natural, that can bring you benefits and help you raise your elevation and frequency and help you to relax and put your body in more of a state of maximizing your immune system. We're going to bring it to you, and Sarah's definitely, man, we're so blessed to have a blue light therapy right here in Warrenton, Virginia, the only one on the East Coast. And so I highly recommend for those people who want to come and dip their toe in the blue light, take the 50% off and do it for $35 and experience it. And then for those of you who are dealing with some issues, go ahead and do the 10 pack. Because I believe you're going to definitely receive benefits from it. And
thank you, Jim. Yeah, I have clients from New York, Delaware, New Jersey, South Carolina, of course, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. So, and West Virginia. So, nobody from Tennessee yet, though.
Maybe I'll be the first then.
He'll do a fly-in just for blue light therapy. 20 minutes, you're out of there, Brian. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Brian, you have any other questions for her?
No, it just sounds fascinating. I would just love to just experience it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to get all the answers, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so when you're in Maryland, give me a call.
Yeah, I definitely will.
All right. Well, Sarah, thank you so much. We'll let you go about your evening. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you soon myself.
All right, thank you.
All right, take care.
Take care.
All right, bye-bye. That was pretty interesting. So you think you're gonna get to Maryland and schedule a blue light therapy session, Brian?
Yeah, I'd like to. And yeah, I was asking her about the whether you're fully clothed or not. I think if I do it, I'd probably like wear shorts or something. I mean, that's how I do it when I go out for walks. I try to get as much skin exposure as I can.
Okay. Well, last time I did it, I think I just had a t-shirt on and shorts on, but I think next time I'm just going to take the t-shirt off and get the much skin exposed to the blue light as I can, and let my body just enjoy that natural vitamin D coming to me.
Yeah.
So, she was talking about, I did not know that before, but how important the blue light plays into your gut. And it's amazing how everything keeps pointing back to the gut. How getting further along in your book?
No, I haven't. I've been swamped with trying to prepare for these next gigs that are coming up.
All right, just when's the monster on what's the monster on the mountain? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a week from Friday is Kix, and a week from Saturday is Rhino Bucket. Yeah.
So now you said at one point is Rhino Bucket, they coming up and staying with you that week for the Monster on the Rocks? So you're going to have some guests?
Yeah, they're coming in on Sunday, and they'll be there until Tuesday after.
Wow,
so
that's more than 3 days.
That's like 10 days for one gig. So.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Well, hopefully everything will go smooth, and you guys going to practice downstairs? Are you going to practice some of your songs while they're here?
I think we're going to do a little like a low volume rehearsal when they get here, because they're getting here pretty early on Sunday even. And then Monday and Tuesday I have a place booked down in Nashville at a rehearsal place.
Good.
And then Wednesday is Shannon's birthday. So I told those guys I can't do it on Wednesday. So.
Wow, everybody's got a birthday. So hers is what, October 16th? Is that what it is? What is
13th.
that? 13th. October 13th. Wow. And Peggy and I share our anniversary is on the 14th, so that I'll be able to remember that. Our anniversary is on the 14th. So Shannon's birthday is on the 13th. That's good. Well, talking about people who we love, I saw in the news tonight or today that man, you guys' drummer Jimmy suffered a little bit of a setback.
Oh yeah, that was a scare. Yeah, he had a heart attack. And it's like, I mean, I guess these things happen. Like the older you get, the people around you, things like this start to happen to people. And yeah, I found out last Wednesday evening, and luckily they rushed him to the hospital. They just took him straight into surgery, and he's back home now. And he says every day he feels better and better and better. So.
Well, we're sending in positive vibes and healing powers, and keeping you lifted up in prayer, Jimmy, and to your wife who's got to be taking care of you during this rehab time. So glad you're doing better, and I'm sure you will be truly missed out on the road with your bandmates, but I also know they will try to honor you by doing the best job they can without you. So
yeah, it's scary. It's like an extra stress going into this next gig, but because Jimmy's like the engine of the band, it all kind of extends from him. So you take that out, and it's like, oh man, But
yeah, it's like the child or the puppy who always hears that heartbeat of his mom. It's like, oh, that's the sound I need to hear, that just keeps that rhythm that lets me know that everything's okay. And then and I'm sure no matter who the drummer is, there's a different rhythm, and the rhythm that you're used to from Jimmy, just the sound and how he hits and strikes his drums is going to be
yeah,
missed by you. Yeah.
yeah, because I mean, yeah, it's the same with any like a musician. You know, they can play the same notes, but it doesn't sound like that other person. So it's, you know, everybody has a different feel. But I'm just trying to keep an open mind and you know, just prepare for it and just hope for the best and just go with it, whatever happens. And like I said, you know, before, you know, maybe it'll turn out to be fun. You know, who knows? It'll be different.
Well,
Def-
you know, people need to come out and support the band, see the new drummer. And now, has this drummer got blonde hair too? We don't want to have three blondes in the band. Are they brunettes? What are?
You know what? I don't even know what this guy looks like. I mean, I've met him, but I can't remember.
Because, and I say that only because I saw what Bob Perry just got his new guitar picks in, and I love what he has on the back of them, which is the other blonde. I thought that was just hilarious.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's funny. He better, you know, get out there and start giving those picks away before Steve Whiteman makes him dye his hair.
Yeah.
So, how's Ronnie? Have you heard any news from Ronnie? How's
Yeah,
Ronnie doing?
I talked to him earlier. Yeah, he just wanted. He was asking me all about Jimmy and stuff, and yeah, every time I talk to Ronnie, he's just sounds better and better to me. So this is definitely, you know, it was definitely what he needed. So
Right, right. Well, he's at the right place for sure. And when the time when his body and mentally and physically is ready to move on to the next step, I'm sure that will be the next step. And I'm sure he will be welcomed back with all his friends and bandmates and family with open arms. And hopefully his future is the brightest that lays in front of him. So hopefully everything is going to be good for him from here on
yeah,
out.
yeah,
It's not always.
he's definitely going in the right direction at this point. So
That's awesome. Well, hey, I want to give a shout out to all the Keto Rocks. Actually, we got a bunch of our meat maidens, is what they sent me the message that they're calling themselves now. I think Roseanne's husband, John, named all the women in the group meat maidens. So I give a shout out to them. And I know I got an invite from Linda or Joan. I don't know who posted it first, but wanted to do a impromptu 72-hour fast. So we did it starting Sunday. I started mine at Sunday at 4. And I know Linda, Joan, Jeannie did her first one. I don't know if she got 48 hours in, but I know she made it to 24, which was her goal, which she was really excited about. We had Steve joined us, Maria. And so hats off to everybody who participated, and you guys are so supportive of one another. It's just really cool to be able to know you're fasting with a bunch of people in the right mind, and you're encouraging one another. And it's just really cool to see people who have never fasted before because they don't think it's possible going,
right.
I did it, I can do it. And so now that, once they want to go further, and that's it. It's just a mindset. So once you get that first 24 hours and you literally can do it, it's amazing how good you feel afterwards.
Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, the last time I did a 72, I had a rough time getting through it, but 48 is probably the most comfortable one for me as far as an extended fast.
Now we talked off the air, but we talked last week. You got a almost a force fast that you're going to be doing here this week, right? Before your big colonoscopy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is Wednesday. We're recording for the Friday. I go in for the colonoscopy. So tomorrow, what is it? At 3 is when I start the regimen of the
shake or the chalk or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. So on my little instructions sheet, it says to eat a light breakfast tomorrow before 8 a.m., but I never eat that early. So my dinner tonight, which ended at 4, it was my last meal until after. So it'll probably be 4 o'clock on Friday when I finally eat again.
So 48 hours.
Yeah.
That'll be good. Yeah. And what are you going? What's going to be your first meal when you decide to? Perfect. That's what I broke mine with.
I've got a whole
Just made a
fridge.
bunch of.
Yeah. In fact,
Nice.
it's funny because when I'm here, it's cooling, but it doesn't have that much fat on it. And usually I have like this much fat, but I use mostly. Well, there were bones, but then I always buy. I try to buy like neck bones. That Annie Acres place that I get my eggs from, they sell packs of neck bones, and they still have some meat on them. But a lot of times when I have my bag of saved bones, it'll have trimmings from like a brisket or, so it's got a lot of extra fat. This didn't have a whole lot of extra fat. So I probably won't have to even skim it. I'll just heat it up and drink it.
Yeah, I got to make some because I only have like 2 more bottles left of bone broth or mason jars of bone broth. And so I got a bunch of bones in the freezer. I got the tomahawk bones and I got the short rib bones. So I got a bunch of bones to start to making broth for us, and we can replenish our supply.
Yeah, I had that tomahawk bone for my birthday dinner.
Oh, hey, that looked good. I didn't ask you. That looked really good, but you said they put blue cheese and pork panko on top of it. What?
No, it was marrow butter, bone marrow butter, but I think they put pork panko on it and like I guess they broiled it on top of the steak or something. But yeah, I went to taste it and I'm like, oh man. So I kind of scraped it. I basically just tasted it and then I didn't eat it. I had to scrape it off. But that bone was so long, I couldn't get it in my crock pot, so I had to take it down to my workbench and put it on the vise and took my hacksaw and cut it in half.
Now that's a video right there.
Yeah.
What bone is Brian sawing tonight? So, well, I got to make some. I don't know if you saw this earlier. Did you see, by chance, Dr. Barry's, him and, what's his wife's name? Nisha?
Nisha, yeah.
Nisha, yeah. They made a video where they were making bacon chips. Have you seen the video? They made bacon chips.
No, I get his emails and I saw that, but I didn't watch it yet.
So I'm interested to find out if anybody's made them. I'm definitely going to make them. Won't have time to do it tomorrow, but between Friday and Sunday, I'm definitely going to make the bacon chips. So what he says, just take a package of bacon. He cuts it in half, the bacon in half, then he cuts them in half on the other. So you got 4 quarters of bacon. And then instead of putting them in like in a frying pan, you just put them in a big quart pan, like you're going to, do your bone broth, and just put all the bacon in there, tear it apart, throw it down in there, and just put it on high. And every 2 minutes to stir it until it cooks down to the fact that it's crisp, how he likes it. And then you just dump it, and then put them out on a napkin, let them just dry, and it's just like potato chips.
Wow.
He says, and again, I love the fact that he sits there and says, look, and you cannot have any better grease to cook your food in than bacon grease. So look at this. He just poured that grease into his bacon, or to Nisha's bacon bowl. And he's look at that color. That's no added process. It's just pure good oil.
Right.
So he said that's better than money in the bank right there. So it's
liquid gold.
Liquid gold. That's it. That's it. Liquid gold. That's what it is. Well, Brian, good luck with your colonoscopy on Friday, which is tonight. So hopefully everything goes well. And then the following week, or 2 weeks from then, is when Kix plays.
A week.
Yeah. All right. So you got colonoscopy on one Friday. The next Friday you're playing mountains, Monsters on the Mountain.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, if someone's watching this show and they've got through all this, what bit of advice would you give them um, to help make their life better?
I would tell them to eat your meat.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us for another Friday night, everybody. Stay safe, stay well, and stay out of that hospital. And we'll see you next Friday. Take care,
Yeah.
everybody. And Jimmy, get well.